Alright, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. What is going on, my friends? Phil is here live. How are you guys doing? I am here. And indeed, you are here. And now we're both here. Why am I saying it here instead of here? I have no idea. So welcome to this lovely Friday. Yes, it is the weekend, my friends. It is the weekend. And welcome to the second day of summer. I totally forgot yesterday when I started streaming that yesterday, June 21st, was actually the first day of summer. Incidentally, it was hard for me to remember because we actually had just had a heat wave and it ended yesterday. So it was kind of funny because, like, you know, summer, oh, it's going to get hot. Immediately we cooled down and then it was summer here. So I totally forgot about that. So, my friends, welcome to the summertime. Which means a few things. Certainly means a few things, a variety of things. It means that, number one, sadly, gaming is going to come to a crawl. A really slow standstill, as we all know. The summertime typically is the slowest time for gaming. Most game publishers choose not to release any games during the summertime months because they have some kind of a weird belief that if they all release their games at the same time, that somehow they're going to make more money. I don't understand this belief because just common sense and logic would dictate if you have a dead month for gaming and you release a game that's a good game during that month, people will probably try it. You know, people are looking for new games during these summertime months. In particular, younger people who are off from school or university or whatever you want to call it, whatever kind of education you're seeking. Typically, there are not classes in the summertime in a lot of places in the world. And so, it's odd, because that is a big market, in my opinion, right? Other thing is, and this is what I used to do, I used to work during the summertime a lot. I used to work my butt off earning money. That was my time of the year when I would work when I was younger, as much as I possibly could, because I had a free schedule. So I would be working, but it would be good because I would have extra money from working to buy video games. So, for me, I scratch my head every single year, and I say, I have no idea why people, or why these game developers / publishers think that there's no market for video games in the summertime. It always just baffles me. The month of July, I'm not even kidding, there's one game released. That's like a major release, Octopath Traveler. That's it. There's nothing in the entire month of July going on. So, for me, it'll be a fun month of kind of downtime stuff. It'll be a month of events and the like. Well, it just baffles me every time. All right. So anyway, that's one of the things that the summer means. The summer also means, as I just said, it's a time for me to do fun special events. And being that this is my 10th anniversary as a content creator on the internet, I will more than likely be throwing in a couple special events here or there. Not only the scheduled stuff, such as the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Master Run Challenge, or the Rageathon, or the Patron's Choice playthroughs, but maybe another playthrough or two tossed in there for good measure to get us through July, okay? So let me give you guys a rough idea of the schedule you can expect the next few days. We are ending off June strong with actual new releases, which is kind of cool. Okay, so here we go. First of all, today, it's the premiere of a new game. Yeah, I know. Wow, there's actually new releases in June. Mario Tennis Aces, a first-party Nintendo game. And, you know, pretty much those are the only ones I end up playing on the Switch, which is fine. We all know the first-party Nintendo games end up being quite good. But in this case, this was a game that more than likely I was feeling like I was probably going to skip because I don't know that much about tennis. I mean, I've watched probably one single match of tennis my entire life. Not to say that I don't understand the basics, but I'm certainly not a fan of it. You know, I'm not a big fan. I don't follow sports at all. I've never played a Mario Tennis game before, ever. So, you know, I think the only tennis experience I've ever had was playing Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. I believe that those games had Mario Tennis, or had a version of tennis in it. And I have no idea, absolutely no idea, if this is going to be anything similar to that, okay? So we'll see. You know, this will be an interesting experiment. I want to say thank you to the person who did donate the game, because normally I would not just drop $60 on a Nintendo title that I wasn't sure if I was going to like, okay? So, the fact that I got this game, well, almost for free. This person bought the game, I paid the $6 tax. Not a big deal, okay? So, thank you to the person who donated it. I appreciate that, all right? And, thanks very much for giving me a shot at trying it, you know, because it was not a $60 major investment for me. I'm able to give it a shot, and we're going to play it all day today. Now, from what I'm going to understand, the game has a story mode, but of course it also has other modes, challenge modes, and, you know, multiplayer online. What will I be trying out? Well, I'll be trying out some various different things. First thing I'm going to do today is the story mode, because what I'm hoping is the story mode will ease you into the game and teach you the basics, so that I can learn, you know, how to play without relatively getting my ass handed to me by people trying to play competitively, okay? So, yes, it's going to be story mode to start off today and see how we do. So I'm going to be playing this as my whole main stream today. Now, there's a couple things I have to cover whenever I play a first-party Nintendo game, guys. All right. First of all, I like Nintendo games. You know, my game of the year last year was Super Mario Odyssey, all right? So I'm certainly not a Nintendo hater. That's not the reason why I don't play a lot of Nintendo games, all right? One of the major reasons is because Nintendo claims all ad revenue on YouTube, all right? And not to say that it's a big deal if I'm playing a game and I don't make money on one single game that I play on YouTube. However, it is a big deal if it becomes a long, extended playthrough. So again, perfect example, Super Mario Odyssey was a playthrough. The game was incredibly long. I loved it. I played it for a good 2 weeks, you know. And imagine if I didn't make any money on YouTube for 2 weeks. That's a big deal, okay? So, when I play first-party Nintendo games, I always got to play them with kind of almost a judgmental approach. And what does that mean? It means that basically, I have to determine whether or not I'm capable of continuing to play a game or not. So, today, as I play Mario Tennis Aces for the very first time, I'm going to be judging a lot of factors. First of all, do I like the game? If I don't like the game, then immediately that's kind of a turn-off for me, and I'm probably not going to want to play it again, right? Do you guys like the game? Because sometimes there are games that I enjoy, but you guys as a viewing audience say, meh, maybe this is a game that's better or more fun to play than watch, and I can understand that. There are many games that are like that, all right? So that's another factor. Another factor is going to be, you know, how contributing you guys are to the stream, right? If you guys are coming and not really engaging, and the stream ends up kind of being boring because people are not really interested, then chances are I'm not going to go back to it, all right? But it could be the polar opposite. For example, with Super Mario Odyssey, people really liked the game. They liked the streams. They were engaging and supportive. And so I kept playing the game regardless of the fact that, you know, I put out some 80, 100 videos or whatever of Mario and made no money on them on YouTube. Okay? So it's that simple. It's a combination of factors. All right? A combination of many different factors. And we'll see what happens. It's cool that I get to at least try the game without having to drop a significant amount of money. You know, $6 to play this ain't so bad. And so hopefully we have a fun session here and things go well. And if I like the game, you like the game, and everyone is engaging and supportive, then great. I'll play it again. In fact, I already tentatively have reserved Monday's stream to be a second stream for this game. All right. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm not promising you the world here. I'm just telling you very matter-of-factly, you know, this is the way the world works. Sadly, I can't go entire weeks without making money. This is a reality of the situation. You know, it would be one thing if this was my hobby and I had a full-time office job outside of this. Of course, if that were the case, you'd probably see me 2 hours a day, and that's it. And you never get finished playthroughs, and, you know, it'd be a very different situation than me doing this full-time and being able to cover all these great new releases for you guys, which is a very different, you know, thing from me doing this as kind of a part-time hobby, right? So because this is my job and my primary source of income, I have to make sure that I make enough money to pay the bills, and if, you know, 1 or 2 sessions can't make money on YouTube, okay. You know, weeks and weeks can't make money on YouTube, that's a different thing. All right, so let's see how this goes. All right, and, you know, play it by ear. All right. So I'm just getting that out of the way and saying that right up front so you guys understand. I don't want anyone to get a misconception. I play this once and then all of a sudden I don't play it again and people get all angry. Oh my God, Phil, how dare you? You're a Nintendo hater. Has nothing to do with that whatsoever. All right. And again, this was not even a game that originally I had scheduled to play. This is kind of a happy surprise where I get to play a new release that normally I probably wouldn't have played it. It was outside of my comfort zone. It's not something I've ever done before. And we get to experience firsthand whether or not it's something that's cool for me to stream. All right. Fair enough. Okay. Got that out of the way now. So that being said, that's the first stream. Now, later tonight, I'll be doing something completely different. I'm going to be doing, all right, I'm going to be doing, let's try this again. Boy, I'm distracted because I started reading the stream chat. No Barnaby, I didn't hear that 11 big name streamers were banned from Twitch for getting DMCA. What were they DMCA'd for? Because now he's distracting me. And now I want to talk about this first. Alright, let me continue on what I was saying. Maybe Barnaby will give us more details. Alright. So later tonight, let's try this again. My second stream today will be something different. Will be something very different. Okay. From what I usually do. Usually I'm here and I'm streaming gameplay. The vast majority of the time, I'm here streaming gameplay, right? Every once in a while, I'll do a podcast or Ask the King, but usually it's a rarity. Well, people have desired, or excuse me, they've expressed a desire to see me do more of those type of streams. Now, typically what those are called are IRL streams, meaning instead of showing a game, you're showing real life. There's many different kinds of these streams. Some people just do a vlog and talk to the camera and talk with their viewers. Some people have a cell phone, they broadcast from, they walk around the house and they show off their shit. I'm not going to do that. But for tonight, what I want to do is just do a 2-hour kind of hangout where you guys come by, we talk about various topics, we have fun, you know, and we'll see how it goes. If this ends up being something fun and entertaining, and again, people are supportive and like it, then I may do it more often. Maybe I'll do a once a week, late night, IRL stream hangout where we just kind of hang out and shoot the shit. And, you know, there's a lot of different things to do. I could read the news. Oh, boy, read the news. That's always fun when I read the news. I could talk about these hot topics, right? There's a lot of stuff that we could talk about. So we'll see how it goes tonight. This 2-hour IRL style stream. See, the thing is, for me, as you guys know, every day I do a pre-stream. And I kind of feel like my pre-stream is IRL because I give you, I let you know what's going on with me. I usually give you plugs or whatever, right? And then, I usually do a segment where you guys do you know, cheering, something, and tipping. I give you shout-outs for those. You know? And so it's kind of like we get that interaction anyway. But I think what people want is a dedicated segment, a dedicated stream where we just all sit down and talk, right? So we'll see how this goes. You know, I'm looking forward to it. I hope that it goes well. I hope that people like it, and I hope that people maybe want to see more of that. I am not opposed to hanging out with you guys, okay? I'm just not. I would love to hang out with you guys more and talk about various things going on. You know, I'm sure there's a million things to talk about. But let's see where it goes tonight, all right? And you know what? And no skin off anyone's back. If we do it tonight and it ends up kind of being boring, and people were like, meh, all right, this is an interesting idea, but it didn't really pan out to be anything interesting. It's not like there's 5 zillion games for me to play, you know? Oh, no, there's no content for Phil now. No, there's a million things to do. So it's not that big of a deal, all right? The reason I'm doing it tonight, all right, is because I wanted to do it right before the weekend. As you guys know, Saturday is my day off from streaming. So I said, this is a good opportunity. You know, I've put out so much gameplay content this week. This week, I played through almost the entirety of Half-Life 2. I finished up Jurassic World Evolution. I got all the way up to the very end of Vampire. I had a fun session of H1Z1 with 3 top 10 finishes. I had a really entertaining session of Third Strike last night. For those who were not here at the stream last night, I played Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, and I won almost all of my matches. I don't know why. I was picking, it was hilarious because I said, I'm going to try to play the game for real and pick characters I'm good with, and I lost. And I said, well, fuck this then. Since the game is so delayed online, I don't give a shit. I'm just going to pick my shitty joke character Urian, who I'm terrible with, and I'm just gonna fuck around. And I won like every match. It was insane. So many people fell for the stupidest, oldest trick in the book, and it was ridiculous. I was beating people with 2 to 3 times as many wins as I had. Very silly. So anyway, that being said, yeah, pretty fun week that we had this week. A lot of content, a lot of variety of content that I put out this week. So there's plenty of stuff for you guys to get caught up on this weekend tomorrow, while I'm off from streaming. All right, and all those videos, by the way, are always archived over on my YouTube channel, DSPGaming. So at any time you can head over there and you can watch at your leisure any of my, gameplay videos that you missed out on the streams for. They're all live and available on demand. All right. Now I've been hearing apparently there's some people who use the YouTube app, and the YouTube app has glitched out and won't show playlists properly, and I apologize for that. It is what it is. Okay. And I apologize that, the app isn't working. I don't have anything to do with it. What I can tell you is all my playlists are fine. Like, all my playlists on my DSP Gaming channel exist and are in place where they're supposed to be. But it seems like on the app, the YouTube app, they've all vanished. Well, that's YouTube's fault. So what I say is, don't use the YouTube app. I never use the YouTube app. The YouTube app is a piece of crap. What I do if I'm going to watch videos online, I actually use the Firefox app. And I've used this on my TV downstairs, and it works perfectly. The Firefox app always works, no delay between the audio of the videos, and everything works properly. So I would say you try the Firefox app, screw the YouTube app. It's a piece of garbage. Okay. So, tomorrow I'm off. So I figured tonight would be the best time for the IRL stream, since there's already a ridiculous amount of gameplay content that I put out this week. It's not like some people will get angry that I didn't do a final gameplay stream when there's already, how many countless hours of new gameplay to watch from this week, right? So there you go. I'll be back on Sunday. And on Sunday should be a great session because I'll be concluding the main story of Half-Life 2, the main campaign, and then I'll be beginning episode 1, which people have expressed a desire for me to do since I played Half-Life 2 all this week and people really enjoyed my playthrough. It was the first time I ever legitimately played the game, and got past the stupid hovercraft segment. So I really enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed that playthrough. I can't wait to continue it with the episodes, okay? So that's going to be Sunday, excuse me. And then on Monday, like I said, if things go well and everything goes according to plan and Mario Tennis Aces turns out good and people are supportive today, then I probably will be playing Mario Tennis Aces again on Monday. And then Monday night will be the conclusion of Vampire. Finally, I'm finishing the goddamn game for sure, okay? Then on Tuesday, it should be an interesting mix. And what I mean by that is, there's basically, I want to do the new game from Don't Nod, which is called Captain Spirit, The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit, which is a one-off episode, which is kind of like Life is Strange. It's only supposed to be 2 hours long. So if that's the case, I think what I'll do is my main stream will be that, and then when I finish it, maybe we'll switch over to Street Fighter for a little bit and just do a little bit like a mini Street Fighter stream. And then Tuesday night will be H1Z1, okay? Then Wednesday will be the continuation of Half-Life 2. Excuse me. And then Wednesday night, I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. But then Thursday will be the premiere of Fighting EX Layer. A brand new fighting game. This is from the people who made the Street Fighter EX series in the 1990s and early 2000s. But they don't have the Street Fighter license anymore. So they took all their own original characters and are making a game just with them in the modern era. I played the beta of this many months ago. I think it was like January or February. And the game seemed interesting, albeit kind of broken, because there were like grooves and stuff in the game, isms or whatever you want to call them, I forget what they were called, that seemed like just ridiculously overpowered combinations, like everyone having crazy super armor and shit like that. It just doesn't seem right to me. Like, it seems like the game was really, really broken. Alright. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And, we'll play it by ear. But I'm going to be checking that out on Thursday. And then this coming Friday, all right, which is 1 week from today. So that's what, the 29th? Yes, 1 week from today. I'll be doing my Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Master Run Challenge. A 7+ hour marathon where I'll be attempting to beat all of the arcade modes in the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection on the hardest difficulty. It's going to be full of rage. It's going to be full of fail. It's going to be full of salt. It's going to be a lot of profanity and a lot of a lot of challenge and probably salty tears. But I'm going to do my best and see how far I can get in this marathon to get through the games on the hardest difficulty setting. It's going to be interesting for sure. I kept telling you guys this was going to be a great event, and people were like, no, it won't be. Then I went and actually did my History of Street Fighter series early this month, where I played all the arcade modes of the games on normal difficulty, and people's jaws dropped when they saw how hard some of these modes are. Like, the game blatantly cheats. Oh, look, I don't have to charge, but I do a fucking anti-air special move anyway. Oh, look, things combo that don't normally actually combo in the game. Oh, look, this move now hits 4 times and does 80% damage when it doesn't do that in the real game. You know? It's pretty fucking broken. So, we shall see how things go in 1 week. So, what a way to end June. We're going to have, you know, of a wide variety of games, right? Half-Life 2 continuing, as well as maybe some more Mario Tennis Aces, Vampire concluding, some H1Z1, some Street Fighter, a new fighting game in Fighting EX Layer, and then my crazy Master Run Challenge event, all to end June. That is a crazy strong way to end June. So I hope, despite the fact that the summer has begun and things are slowing down for gaming, that you guys will still tune into the streams, and I hope to see you here every day. If ever there was a time to subscribe and get access to all of my Street Fighter-related emotes, now would be the time, because there's going to be multiple times I play Street Fighter / fighting games this coming week, and I think you guys will be able to utilize them to the fullest. All right. So there you go, guys. There's the rough schedule. And then, you know, many other questions remain. When will Phil start? You know, The Simpsons Hit and Run. When will Phil resume Persona 5? And the answer to all that is, quite frankly, as soon as I'm done with all the other shit. You know, when Vampire wraps up, when Half-Life 2's episodes wrap up, then I'll be starting up that other stuff in July for you guys. Okay? Alrighty then. Master Saru, Fighting EX Layer of all days, comes out Thursday. I know that sounds weird. It comes out the 28th. Of June. I don't know why it comes out on a Thursday. I'm not aware of any other game that's come out on a Thursday, but that's what they've said. It's digital only. They're not even doing physical release. So, I'll be playing it. Alright, guys. There you go. You know what, guys? I'll be honest with you. I really don't want to do a long plug segment today. I just don't feel like it. I'm tired of it. I get bored of it. I really do. So, I'm just going to say a few things. If you guys want to help me out, alright, there's many ways you can contribute. Obviously, watching the streams and the YouTube videos is the #1 way. But #2, you can pledge to my Patreon at patreon.com/darksidephil. Right now, the best thing you could do if you want to get the most out of it, if you pledge $5 or more by the end of this month to my Patreon, you'll be able to nominate and vote on games for an upcoming Rageathon event that's going to take place during this summer. So if you want unprecedented control over an event that I do, you know, a stream that's going to have hundreds, if not 1,000 viewers or more, and YouTube videos that are going to get thousands of views. If you want that kind of control over an event, please pledge to my Patreon this month. Most people don't realize that it's only about 50 people who really nominate and vote on those events and have all this crazy amount of power. All right, so give it a look. Patreon.com/darksidephil. Any pledges there help me out. Also, you can check out my Teespring shop where I sell merchandise like t-shirts and mugs and the like. Give it a look on teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. If you buy anything from my Teespring shop, I get a commission. And you guys get a cool collectible, all right? But if you're here live on the stream and you want to get some interaction during today's stream, if you either cheer with bits, subscribe to the channel, or tip me, you will get a shout-out, a verbal shout-out, all right? Now, it is actually not a guarantee, and I just want to say that up front. I do have some criteria that I use, and it's very subjective what I read and what I don't read on my stream. Understand that if you're negative or insulting, if you're trying to bring up drama, if you're trying to stir up trouble, if you're trying to basically get a rise out of me, or you're trying to derail the stream, I'm not going to be doing any of that, okay? It's, again, my discretion what I do or don't read on my own stream. So, just know that up front, that if you come in here, you know, posting a giant paragraph that's going to derail the stream for 5 to 10 minutes, or you're trying to insult me or someone else or bring up some kind of crap drama, I don't care about that, and I'm not going to talk about it, all right? Now, if you'd like to get an animation to play on the stream, you could do that as well. It's a cool visual way to get a thank you for contributions. If you want that, what you need to do is either cheer 50 bits or more in one shot, or you can subscribe to the channel and then click on the share button that will appear after you subscribe, or you could tip me $5 or more in one go. If you do any of those things, an animation will play, and plus I'll give you your shout out, so it's kind of like a double recognition. All right. Right now, guys, we're on 509 subscribers to the channel, which is a great number. Pretty damn high. And I'm very happy with that. And I want to say thank you guys for a very supportive June. It's been a very good June here on Twitch. And, you know, I love that you guys are loving what I'm doing and you're coming out to support because you like to see my efforts, you know, rewarded and you want to see me keep being able to do this full time. And I love that. So thank you for that amount of support. You know, over 500 subs is great. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you get 3 benefits. Number 1, you get access to all of my emotes. As I mentioned, recently we added a bunch of Street Fighter related emotes to the channel. They're really cool, and in particular with the amount of fighting game coverage I'll be doing this week, including the Fighting Game Master Run Challenge of Street Fighter, as well as Fighting EX Layer. Now would be a great time for you to subscribe to the channel, because you get access to all those emotes. Plus, you don't have to watch advertisements when I run them. You'll have to, you'll have the option of, well, you're not the option, but you just won't see them, which is great, right? Pretty cool. And then... also, you get a cool Chat Crown Loyalty Badge, which is this crown that changes color depending on how long of a supporter you are. So many benefits to subbing, and it helps me out, so please consider subbing to the channel. Last, if you want to tip me, as I mentioned, you could tip in order to either get a shout-out or an animation to play. There's 2 ways to do that. Number 1, if you look below my stream, there's a grid of information, and right there should be a button that says Tip Jar. If you click on that button, it'll take you to the tips page, where you can either leave an anonymous tip or your name in a message. Or, if you don't see that tips jar button, more than likely you're on a mobile version of Twitch, that's fine. What you need to do then is you need to type !tip into the stream chat. That'll bring the command up where you'll get a link. You can click on the link and you can tip me via that link. Alright? Thanks to anyone. Now, the thing is, as you guys can see at the top of the screen, today we've got the stream stats leaderboard up. Since this is a non-narrative based game, it's all sports action. It's fine to have that leaderboard up there. It'd be one thing if it was a narrative based game, it would be distracting. It shouldn't be. So, if you are the top cheerer or the top tipper on today's stream, you will get up onto the leaderboard. And in fact, in just a moment here, I'm about to start shout-outs. Alright? And I think it's time to get into those shout-outs right now. Alright, sound good? Alright, let's do it then. Excuse me. Alright, so first of all, guys, special shout-out thanks to 2 individuals who contributed overnight. When I wasn't even here live streaming, these people showed up and supported me. First of all, it was Game Master 2003 is dead again. He did a 50-bit cheer, so thank you, Game Master. And then BattleDuck 9000 tipped me $5 and said the following. He said, just finished watching your Jurassic Park Evolution playthrough. Despite the lack of background data to compare against, I wish you would have done a full-style review of the game. I absolutely love the Half-Life 2 playthrough. You should really do episodes 1 and 2. Well, first of all, thank you, BattleDuck, for the tip. And to respond to what you're saying, yeah, I honestly don't feel it would be fair for me to review Jurassic World Evolution, alright? Because the bottom line is, I don't have enough experience in the genre to stand that game up against other games of similar caliber and say, oh, it's better or worse. And the thing is, that's what my game reviews are. If you guys remember, what I pride myself on doing when I review a game is taking a major release and kind of weighing and balancing it against other games to let you know, number 1, how much content you're going to get. Number 2, objectively, is it better when it comes to things like content, graphics, etc. But Jurassic World Evolution is a unique premise because it's not like any other game that I've played. It's a sim game. It's a completely different experience and genre than I'm used to playing, right? It would be very hard for me to say, oh, Jurassic World Evolution versus God of War, because they're not anywhere similar. I mean, Jurassic World Evolution, the graphics are decent, you know, for a sim game, and it does have a lot of content. You know, 5 islands plus the sandbox island. I played the game for 16 hours before I ended my playthrough, but I could have kept going. I could have kept going and trying to unlock all the optional things, 5-starring every single island, and then, you know, getting to the sandbox island and maxing that one out. I probably could have played upwards of 30, 40 hours if I wanted to, right? But I can't tell you, oh, I played this other sim game and that one was more fun or better because of this or that. I can't do that because this is really the first major sim game I've done a playthrough of. And so that's kind of where I gotta leave it. It would be unfair, you know, unlike some mainstream game media who put people reviewing games who are completely out of context. I mean, I gotta reference this even though most of you probably don't even remember it. You guys remember when Duke Nukem Forever came out? I know, it was a long time ago. It was freaking, 6 or 7 years ago. Duke Nukem Forever finally released. And so many mainstream game reviewers reviewed the game and said it was like a 2 out of 10. I'm like, now wait a minute. Did you actually play the fucking game? Or did you play it, you know, halfway through and complain it's not a modern game and slam your controller and pan the game? Because that's really what the mainstream gaming media did at that time. They didn't want to give the game a fair shake. And you could tell that most people who reviewed the game did not even play the original Duke Nukem to understand any of the references or see that the game literally played like a slightly modernized version of classic Duke Nukem, which is what the game would be if it really were stuck in development hell for a good 10 to 15 years. That's what you were expecting. But instead, they came out, oh, we wanted a modern game. You weren't going to get that with that game. You know what I mean? It was hilarious. I still remember this one game reviewer who was a girl. She was an intern, okay, working for a major game website. They gave her the game to review. Now, she'd never played the original Duke Nukem. She knew nothing about the franchise. And she panned the game and gave it like a really low review score. And that stood as their official score for the game. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, talk about being completely irresponsible, you know? And that's what I hate about game reviewers. They don't care. They don't care about frame of reference. They don't care about having experience and being able to do a proper review. Just toss any game, any person a game, they'll play it and they'll give it a fucking number score. And that's not what I pride myself on. If I'm going to do a review, I'm going to make sure that I'm going, you know, as long as I possibly can to give you a fair review. I don't want to tell you Jurassic World Evolution is good when in reality there's a ton more sim games out there that are better and I don't know because I haven't played them. On the flip side, I don't want to tell you the game's bad when maybe it's not. It's not fair. So I'm not going to review the game. I've already said in my final part of the game what I thought about it. If you want to see my final thoughts, watch the final part of the playthrough. But I'm not going to, you know, screw stuff up for the game makers or anyone by putting out an unfair review that, you know, I don't pride myself on. So that's why I didn't review the game. Okay? Alrighty then. Now, let us begin with shout-outs for the stream. People who cheered, subbed, or tipped during today's stream itself. Okay? So shout out to Eternal Napalm, who cheered and said, with the end of June and the midway point of 28, is there any doubt what game of the year so far is? It's a blowout. Oh yeah, I mean, of all the games that have been released in 2018, there's only one that's honestly been on a kind of game of the year level. It's God of War. Real talk. Now, the other game that people may argue is that on that same level is probably Monster Hunter World. But again, that's a game I skipped. That's a game that I played the beta of, and people found it incredibly fucking boring. Yet then people went on to buy the game and tell me that it was so great and I really missed out. I'm like, yeah, but what did you do in Monster Hunter World besides just do cooperative fights against giant monsters? And no one can answer the question. Apparently the plot is really bare bones, not very interesting. The entirety of the game is repetitively hunting down giant monsters and fighting them. And that's it. You know? And it would be one thing, so people say, oh, but people play tons of repetitive games. Right, and I don't think they're very good. I mean, real talk, I don't. If in a game, if the sole point of a game is just the gameplay, then it has to be a competitive game. For example, a competitive first-person shooter, a competitive RTS, a competitive fighting game. If the gameplay is so good that the core mechanic of the game is just the competitive gameplay, okay then. But a single-player game where all you're doing is grinding against the same fucking enemies, you know, even RPGs that have tons of grinding gameplay have a story behind them that kind of pulls you into them. And I didn't get that feeling from Monster Hunter World, and the bottom line is most people told me who played it, no, that's the truth. It's much like a lot of these other modern games. You get hooked on the repetitive gameplay, right? And if you like the repetitive gameplay, great, the game is great. But if not, the game sucks. And so that's kind of, you know, the reason why I really don't hold Monster Hunter World up in the regard that many other people do. Maybe some people have a valid point there. I don't know because I didn't play it. But for me, the only real game that I played so far in the entire first half of the year that actually could be Game of the Year worthy, for me, would definitely be God of War. And then I would say probably Dragon Ball FighterZ, even though the online play was terrible at launch. The game itself has fundamental gameplay mechanics, a wide variety of characters, great visuals, and a lot of features at launch that I would say would also make that a pretty outstanding package of a game, especially if you're not only a fan of Dragon Ball, but you're also a hardcore fighting game fan. It basically has stuff for everybody, okay? But outside of those two, I can't think of, honestly, of another game that I played this year, you know, that really blew me away as a Game of the Year style contender. I would say best story probably would be Detroit Become Human. I liked the story of that game a lot. But obviously, you know, that game leaves a lot to be desired when it comes to gameplay mechanics. Being the choose-your-own-adventure style game, it doesn't have a lot of riveting gameplay. You're really there just to see the story unfold, right? So, yeah, I would say definitely Eternal Napalm. It's God of War right now as the front runner. I mean, maybe that will change. We do have a lot of high-profile games that will be coming out this fall. In particular, some games I got my eye on. Spider-Man, Code Vein, Red Dead Redemption 2, maybe Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Maybe we'll have a surprise hit with Mega Man 11 blowing us away. I don't know. You know, among other things. There's some other things, too, potentially, that it could be good or could just fall flat on their faces. Okay? So we'll see, but, you know, it's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough for any of these game companies to top what God of War has done this year, for sure. Okay. Shout out to an anonymous dollar tip. And the anonymous dollar tipper said, it's unfortunate you skipped many Nintendo Switch games this year, such as Captain Toad, Kirby Star Allies, and Sushi Striker. Well, first of all, Captain Toad is just a minigame. Captain Toad is a minigame from a previous Mario game that they then realized, oh, we could just do a ridiculous amount of these minigames and make it into its own game, which they did. This is certainly not the first Captain Toad game. And quite frankly, I think Captain Toad would end up being pretty boring because it is the same premise over and over and over. So that's why I didn't play that one. Kirby, I mean, let me put it this way. Kirby was great the first time I played it for YouTube. If you guys remember, it was Kirby's Epic Yarn. It was very different. It was incredibly easy. There really wasn't much challenge to it, but it was visually an interesting game to look at because of the yarn kind of art design, right? And so, you know, it's not a bad series, but as I noticed over time, the more I played it, people got more disinterested. So I remember I played I believe I played two more Kirby games over time. And by the time that I played them all, people were like, this is boring, and stopped watching them and said, basically, don't play them anymore. And sadly, that's what happens. You know, you play something for the first time, it's fresh and new, but then once people see what the gimmick of it is, it kind of dies out. So I don't think if I played Kirby, anyone would care. I mean, real talk, I just don't think that it would get much attention, and I think most people would end up being bored, which is why I don't play the Kirby games anymore. All right? Sushi Slasher or whatever, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Sushi Striker, that doesn't even sound like anything I would play. So, all right. YOLO Dopper cheered. He says, Phil, I think it's a great idea. It provides a chance for fans to get to know you on a more personal level, and why any unscrupulous parties will be rendered dull since fans get to interact with you. All right. I think he's talking about tonight's IRL style stream. Random Ghost tipped me $1. So actually, we now have a tie between Random Ghost and this anonymous tipper for $1. So I guess, hold on, let me update that now, because I'm already forgetting to update stuff. There we go. Thank you guys for the tips. And Random Ghost asks the following. He says, hold on. Why no long plug segment today? You do it every stream. I guess I never bothered to ask why you need to plug it so much. Is money that tight? Well, you may not realize this, but every Twitch streamer is different. Some Twitch streamers have things they advertise over the course of their stream, okay? Like they'll have a product tie-in or a sponsorship or link you to their Patreon repeatedly, okay? Some people do it like that, you know, just like you're watching TV. You get commercial breaks, right? Some Twitch streamers don't advertise at all, but typically they don't do it full-time for a living, or they have a ginormous following. You know, if I had a ginormous following of people, every time I streamed, there were 5,000 to 10,000 people watching me, and everyone was going crazy, subbing and contributing, I probably wouldn't need to advertise. But the bottom line is that's not the reality, right? And I do need to advertise. But what I like to do is I keep it concise, and I keep it in one segment. I will advertise at the beginning of every stream, and that's it. You'll never hear me in the middle of the stream stop everything and say, okay, guys, it's time for some plugs. Go over to my Teespring, check out my Patreon. No, I just do it at the beginning. I get it out of the way, and then we get onto the gameplay, which is what everyone's here for, right? Because I feel that way, it's uninterrupted once we get to the fun stuff. Versus if I was taking 2, 3, 4 breaks and constantly plugging stuff, it's very disruptive. And it makes it more like a commercialized television show, which is not what I want my streams to end up being, okay? So that's why I do it. You know, and, I mean, the other factor here is, as I've told you guys many times, my goal here is to attempt to make it that Twitch is my primary source of income, and Twitch is the thing that pays the bills and takes care of everything. And any other source like you know, Patreon or YouTube is kind of the supplementary income that's nice if I get something from it. But I want to be free of the shackles of, for example, oh no, YouTube ad revenue plummeted, or oh no, you know, YouTube erroneously suspended DSPGaming and now I make no money for a day or two. I want to be free of that kind of constraint. I want it to be that I don't have to worry about that shit because I'm making enough from Twitch that I don't have to have those crazy things on my mind, all right? And the only way to do that is to let people know about the ways you can support me here on stream. So that's why I have to do this big plug segment, but I do it only once a day. Okay? Hope that's a sufficient explanation for you. Shout out to Knows Nobody, who did 100-bit cheers. Says, what was the last anime you watched? The last anime I watched was... Well, I saw one episode of One Punch Man, a single episode, and I thought it was good, but I never got back to it. I think before that I watched Death Note, but I didn't watch the whole thing. I watched it through the part where the kid and the blonde girl, I can't remember their names anymore, basically made it so that they would forget all about the whole thing, like forget about the Death Notes, forget about the demons. And so, yeah, that's as far as I got, and then I stopped watching it. And then before then, the anime I watched before then that I finished was Dragon Ball Z, and then before that one it was Yu Yu Hakusho. So there you go. Zacko056 did a 110-bit cheer, and that makes him the top cheerer for the day, so let's get him up here on the leaderboard. $110-bit, thank you very much for the support, sir. And he says the following. Hold on. He says, hey, buddy, watching from Aussie again. You are ruining my sleep schedule. So, yes, Zacko lives in Australia, which, if you guys don't know, is almost on the entire opposite side of the planet Earth. Meaning, when I'm streaming here at 11 a.m., for him it's like 2 or 3 in the morning. I know it's nuts, but thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the stream. Let's see what Mario Tennis has in store for us today, sir. Shout out to Murdoch, who did a 100-bit cheer, and he said, gaming journalism and reviewing is just like any job over the years. Passion gives way to indifference and the desire to just get it done. Well, there you go. Zacko also cheered. He says, Mitch Dyer was one of the lead writers for Star Wars Battlefront 2, so obviously his opinion is worth crap. Please don't get me started on Mitch Dyer again. This guy that for some reason the gaming industry loves, yet his work has been incredibly questionable the entire time he's done things for the gaming industry. Misreporting, terrible reviews, but you know, God forbid that someone actually call him out for the things that he's done wrong. Let's just let him be a lead writer on a fucking Star Wars game. Unbelievable. Okay. Shout out to Zealotry ALZ, who subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Zealotry ALZ, for the sub. I appreciate that. I'll actually check total subs and update that by the end of the pre-stream here. Ghostly Ectoplasm, what's going on? Haven't seen you on a stream for a bit. Cheered 100 bits. It says, sorry if I missed this, but do you ever say you consider playing Hollow Knight? So Hollow Knight supposedly, I guess, is a Metroidvania-style game, which I like Metroidvania-style games, but they don't really get me much attention. For example, I tried to play Ori and the Blind Forest. It failed miserably. People said, stop playing this boring game. Child of Light, which was actually a hybrid between Metroidvania and RPG. I really liked the game, and I even forced my way through it, even though no one was watching. See what I mean? Like, for some reason, my audience doesn't really enjoy watching me play Metroidvania-style games. Don't know why. I do my best to make them entertaining. I enjoy them, but sometimes it just is what it is. So, even though I've heard great things about Hollow Knight, I don't know if anyone would care to watch me play it. So that's why I really haven't considered it. I did make it open, and I said, if you guys want to see me play Hollow Knight as part of a Patron's Choice playthrough, please nominate it. And by the way, it was nominated, but it didn't get enough nominations to make it to the voting step of the process. So it did get nominated by a few people, but didn't get to the vote. So that's why it's not a Patron's Choice, game coming up now. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not against playing it, but again, it just seems there are certain genres of games that when I play them, for whatever reason, people don't really enjoy it. Again, a game that's better to play than to watch. More fun to play than to watch, right? That's what I'm told when it comes to those kind of games. As opposed to that, the flip side would be a game that's more really fun to watch, You know, games like Street Fighter, games like Detroit Become Human, games that have either heavy narrative or heavy competitive level, people really seem to enjoy watching me play. So, there you go. All right, shout out to Atlas Telemon. What's going on, Atlas? He says, Tomo, not Ohira, won the Try this again. Tomo, but not Ohira, won the Super Turbo 30th Edition World, I don't know what WNF is, maybe World National Finals, I don't know, tournament in a final against Alex Valle. Well, good for him. Okay, then. And then Atlas Telemon cheered again. He said, H1Z1 got an update. When is your next H1Z1 stream? Next week. As I said, more than likely Tuesday night. More than likely it'll be Tuesday night. So, BB Jim Bob cheered. I said, would you ever play A Kiss for the Petals? It's the same vein as Doki Doki Literature Club, but... Hold on. But, you know, it doesn't have a fucking horrible ending with psychological terror. I don't know. No one... This is the first time I ever heard about that game. It's always funny when people say, will you play this game? Will you play that game? My answer is always the same. It's literally always the same answer. I don't know. I didn't know this game existed. No one really has asked for it until now. If people are interested, let me know. And there you go. So every single time you guys have a question if Phil will play this game, you already know the answer. You already know. So you really don't have to ask. I'm not opposed of playing any kind of game. You know what I mean? Like, I'm open. I like to experience new kind of gameplay experiences and the like. But if I've never heard of a game and no one's really, you know, saying, Phil, this is something that's interesting that you should check out, right? Then I'm probably not going to know about it or play it. So there you go. All right, shout out to Kula. Kula cheered 40 bits. This is Premier Hype. That's right. I hope the game's good. Emperor Swaggins. What's going on, man? He just cheered. He says, Phil, if things ever go south on Twitch, go to Facebook Gaming. Apparently, it's not bad for streaming. I watch another Twitch streamer who's leaving Twitch to go there because they say that they were offered a better deal, and it's not as strict. I know nothing about Facebook Gaming, and I'm just going to be real with you, Emperor Swaggins. Facebook... I have not had a good experience with Facebook whatsoever. The reason being because I am a public persona, and in the times that I tried to use Facebook, basically it's been done more harm than good. Like, for example, I announced, oh, I'm going to do a real Facebook page for myself, a fan page, and there already was a fan page, and the people who made the fan page were angry at me that I was making my real page, and I said, guys, can you kind of either integrate the followers from the fan page to my real page that I can now control, or and they didn't want to do that. Oh, this is our page. Like, what? So the person you made a fan page of is making a real page and wants help setting it up and getting information from you, and you basically say no. Okay, great, right? So then I set up a Facebook page, and ideally, all I really used it for was reposting stuff that was on my Twitter. Like, my Twitter and Facebook were linked, so they would have similar or the same posts. And so I would use it for, Ask the King. I would get questions off of it and stuff like that. But then what ended up happening was Facebook fell apart, and basically their security is terrible. And what I mean by that is if someone just tries to log into your Facebook account a million times, the whole account fucks up. And this happened to me 5 times where I wouldn't have used Facebook for a month. I go to use it. Oh, your Facebook account is frozen because someone, tried to log in. Can you prove all this information? I'm reading it no, I don't use my fucking Facebook. It was funny because they're like, can you name these 5 people on your friends list? Well, let's see. I have 5,000 people on my friends list because it's a fan page. I don't know any of these fucking people personally. No, how the fuck could I tell you the names of these people? Are you stupid? So it was just a garbage website. It really was. I never really used it. I never got anything out of it. And it just ran like shit. It just seemed to me like the whole thing was set up for people who don't have a public persona, okay? To just have stupid, share a selfie, tag each other in photos, and then get mass advertised to, because it's exactly what happens. Your data gets stolen over there, and they use it for advertising purposes. They used it for the campaign last year, illegally. So... I just never got into Facebook. It's never been anything that's given me any kind of satisfaction or helped me whatsoever in my 10 years that I've done this on the internet. Not once have I ever said, man, did Facebook really come in handy. Instead, it's been more of a hassle for me than anything else, okay? So, all that being said, guys, Facebook Gaming. I mean, number one, if you guys aren't aware, you cannot stream commercially on more than one website. All the websites basically say, if I streamed on YouTube, Twitch would be angry. If I stream on Twitch, YouTube gets angry. And so you can't actually do both at the same time. So the only reason I would ever consider going anywhere else to stream is if something fell apart on Twitch. The good news is things are going well. You know, things have been going really good recently. And obviously I want to keep it that way, right? So, you know, the only time I would even consider another streaming service would be if things fell apart here, which I hope they don't, right? I'm going to do everything I possibly can to make sure my relationship with Twitch is a good one. I believe that Twitch is the future. Twitch is the leading website. Twitch is the #1 place to stream gameplay, and it is the place where it's the most profitable, all right? So you get the most followers, the most viewers, and, you know, it's the most known place. I want to stay here, you know? Obviously, if things went south with this service, which I hope they never do, yeah, then I would start considering other places. But no, I'm not going to start crazy looking into other places and shit when right now things good on Twitch, right? So let's keep it at that. The Last Rambo cheered 50 bits, and he says, would you ever go back to playing Nintendo 3DS games? You missed Metroid's 2 Samus Returns. Again, Last Rambo. The same exact situation that I say to everyone else. When people ask me, why didn't I play a game or will I play a game? It's very simple, because most people didn't ask for it. If people were clamoring for me to play new releases that I didn't play, I'd play them. But it seems that there's a lot of games that go under the radar that people don't know about, or they're just not very mainstream popular and people don't really care about them. Or, like I just mentioned, certain genres of games seem to be, you know, more fun to play than to watch. I just said Metroidvania style games, people don't seem to like me play. I've tried a few of them over the years, and they never really got much attention. So it's the same thing with Metroid 2. First of all, it's a first-party Nintendo title. Can't make any ad revenue on YouTube on it. That's number one. Number two, typically people don't like me watching, or don't like watching me play Metroidvania games. So that's why I didn't play it. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. All right, Atlas Telemon cheered again. He says, I've been gaming more than these past weeks. Wait, let's try this again. I've been gaming more in these past weeks, and I can feel it in my shoulders. How do you cope physically playing so many hours? Well, if you guys don't notice, I take a break. Every major stream, I take about a 15-20 minute break. I do not sit here. I immediately get up. I walk around the house, you know. I get a snack. I stretch. I use the restroom. You know, you can't just sit and game without rest periods. Even before I live streamed, when I was recording just for YouTube, I used to take breaks all the time. I would play for like a half an hour, then I would take a 5-10 minute break. Because it's good for you, you know, it's good, it's healthy for you to be moving, and not be in a stationary position. I have a stress ball now that I've been using these past couple of months, you know, between sessions. Right now, I'm using it to kind of work out my hands, and, you know, it's always good to have that kind of stuff. So, yeah, extended gameplay, you always need to take a break. That's what gets me when people are like, Phil, why aren't you doing a 7 to 25 hour stream with no breaks and blah, blah. I'm like, what, are you crazy? And then people complain when I take a 15-minute break. It's like, guys, do you not understand how unhealthy it is for people who are streaming and don't take these kind of breaks? Like, they actually could be forming blood clots in their bodies. You know, they could have serious muscle and nerve damage. But it's all good because they didn't take a break during a 24-hour stream, right? Like, that's nuts. That's insane. You know, I'm 36 years old. I got to be doing stuff to be looking out for myself. So there you go. Last Rambo cheered again. He says, you missed my first cheer from the beginning of the stream. Okay, well, hold on a second. Oh, you're right, I did. All right, so he cheered earlier on, and he said, why did you not finish Minecraft Story Mode Season 1 and not play Season 2? That's not true. I did finish Minecraft Story Mode Season 1. I absolutely did. I finished the main story of it. So I'm not sure what you're talking about, because I did, right? Wasn't it the fact that... Let me think about this for a second. I'm trying to think here. Let me think about this. Wasn't it the fact that... God, I'm so confused now. Did I finish it or not? I know I finished the main story of Minecraft Story Mode, and I swear it went into another story. Right? Now I'm so confused. I swear... Dude, guys, I'm not even kidding. I'm so confused about Minecraft Story Mode. Did I finish... I finished the first season of it, right? Because I remember the story definitively ending, and then a new story started. if I remember correctly. And I even played some of the new story, right? Okay, people are telling me in the stream chat, I did actually finish Season 1, but there was an expansion Season 2 that you had to pay more money for. Alright? And I didn't play the expansion season. Good lord. Oh. Alright. So allow me to elaborate. I did enjoy Minecraft Story Mode for what I played. However, by the time that it was over, it was kind of played out, and I did feel like the story had a definitive ending, and it didn't need to continue. And then apparently they announced, oh, here's a Season 2 cliffhanger, you know, pay more money to keep playing. And I didn't think that that was fair. Now I'm starting to remember. Pray for Rock just said Season 1 had an extended episode and there was Season 2. Now I'm remembering. I'm finally remembering. Okay. There was a definitive story ending to Season 1, but then they had an extra episode that set up a Season 2 and ended on a cliffhanger to bait you into buying the Season 2. Now I remember. And I was pissed off because I said, that's not fair. I bought the Season Pass. It should have had all the story content in it, not purposely end on a cliffhanger to get you to buy another season. And I never bought the second season. Now I remember what happened. Okay. Oh. Not gonna lie, that was pretty confusing. I couldn't remember. So anyway, that's what happened. And so, yeah, no, I'm never going back. I'm not paying them more money. I paid them, what was it, $20 or $30 or whatever it was. That was supposed to be the whole game. And then they decided, oh, we're just going to keep going and making new stuff and make you pay more for it. And I said, well, tough titties. And also the bottom line is, if you guys remember, that was about the time when there were way too many Telltale games all at once. There was Game of Thrones, Tales from the Borderlands, Minecraft Story Mode. I think that was when they were announcing the next Walking Dead. It hadn't started yet. And also the Walking Dead Michonne was going to start soon. So within like a time span of 1 year, there were like 5 or 6 different Telltale games coming out. And I was like, this is just too much. Because they're all the same. You know, it's not like they're any different. They're all the same kind of choose-your-own-adventure style game or whatever. And that's fine if you like that formula, but I really felt it was getting stale. They weren't really innovating enough. And so I just said, I'm not giving these guys more money. And apparently, a lot of people agreed with me. Because guess what? Telltale Games announced that their sales were way down, and they ended up reducing their workforce, and said they were going to focus more on more quality-style games, rather than pumping out 1 million of them at once. So there you go. Alright. Asian Entrepreneur just cheered and said, can Vice City be a guaranteed 10-year celebration playthrough, or is it going to be up to the patrons? Vice City is one of the games that attracted me to your channel. Well, here's the thing. I already did San Andreas, alright? And that was fun, don't get me wrong. But a lot of people had issue with the fact that I had to play it with no music. Now, it went down fine. You know, there weren't any problems or anything with it. I was able to, you know, have fun playing the game with no music. I still think it ended up being a great playthrough. I could do the same thing with Vice City, because Vice City also apparently was re-released on the Xbox 360 version, okay? But the one thing about Vice City is that it is very much a game set in the 1980s on purpose, because the game is really about the 1980s culture and vibe. And so one of the essential things about Vice City is the music, in my opinion. I remember playing that game, and if you guys remember, when I played Vice City, I was singing the songs. Some of the songs became part of the playthrough. Like, I would fail 1 million times, and the song would play, and that's just the way it is, or whatever. I was like, oh, you fucking piece of shit, and I would rage about it, right? So even though I absolutely would agree with you that I could go back and play Vice City as a 10-year anniversary, and by the way, July would be the perfect month for it, because once I wrap up Half-Life, I'm going to play Simpsons Hit and Run. Once I wrap up Simpsons Hit and Run, I really have nothing more to do until August, okay? So maybe, you know, mid to late July could be a great time to do a Vice City, you know, 10-year anniversary playthrough. But I don't know how it would be, you know, received. Would you guys be angry because now all that music that was very much an iconic part of when I played this game, you know, 6+ years ago, is now missing from the game? I agree with you that I want to play the game, but I don't know. Like, it would suck. I mean, real talk, it sucks that YouTube has these issues with music and everything. Like, I hate it. So we'll see. Let's see. Let me put it this way, Asian entrepreneur. I am registering your suggestion. I'm strongly considering it. Let's see how the July goes. And by the end of July, I'll make a determination. Because like I said, we've got Half-Life and we've got Simpsons Hit and Run. And once that's all wrapped up, then I'll make my decision. Okay? Alright. Wow. Shout out to Zealotry ALZ, who just tipped me $100. Now, that is quite generous of you. Thank you very much to Zealotry. Let me go ahead and get you on the leaderboard, first of all. What a very generous contribution. Thank you very, 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 very much for that. So, Zealotry ALZ did a $100 tip, holy crap, and says, I'm a fan of you on YouTube for about 10 years. Thank you for your time and endless entertainment. This is $10 for every year as a support, a fan from the Middle East. Wow, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you very, very much. All right, awesome. Shout out to Atlas Telemon. Atlas Telemon just cheered and said, are you looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 6? Will they include a Battle Royale mode? That would be epic. Of course. Who wouldn't be looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 6, right? I think we all are. So, hopefully the game ends up being great. And, when it comes out, we know no information. They haven't released any information or hint about when it'll be coming out. So, there's not much we can say about that yet, right? But I guess we'll see. But we had a Battle Royale mode. That would be cool. I'd be okay with that. You know, sandbox game kind of makes sense. You could do a Battle Royale mode, kind of interesting. So, Obi-Wan Kenobi just did a 50-bit cheer. It says, I just saw Jurassic Park Fallen Kingdom last night. It was better than the first one. Very entertaining. Wow. Well, that's high praise because people really did like the first one. I saw the first one. I was kind of like, it's good. It was good, but it wasn't as good as the original Jurassic Park. It almost seemed like a reboot. Much like how Star Wars, you know, The Force Awakens was a reboot of the Star Wars franchise and a lot of similarities to A New Hope. Same thing with Jurassic World. Had a lot of similarities to the original Jurassic Park with a lot of variations and variables thrown in there. So, good to hear. I'm not going to be seeing that in theaters, but I will probably eventually check it out on demand because I do like the Jurassic series of movies. All right, shout out to Zacho056 who did a 175-bit cheer. You're now the top cheerer. You were before, and now you're even more the top cheerer. Let's get that updated. Thank you very much, Zacho. And he says the following. He says, as promised, I finally supported your Patreon. Oh, really? Hold on a second. Yes, he did. He pledged to my Patreon. Thank you very much. He says, hopefully in the next few weeks I can update your PS4. Really want to support you as much as I can. Looking forward to your stream, mate. Well, thank you very much, Zach. Yeah, Zach and I have been talking a little bit behind the scenes about stuff. And, you know, we'll see. Listen, as you guys know, sadly, things are very financially tight for me. And, you know, I've had a lot of issues with my PS4 this year. In particular, the audio always goes in and out, in and out. It's very disruptive on streams. So, maybe I can get a new one. We'll see. We'll see. All right, guys. So, finally, that is it for the pre-stream. I want to say thank you to everyone who cheered, subbed, and tipped. In particular, obviously, that really large $100 tip. Very, very generous, and I appreciate that. Thank you for that. And I think it's now time to get started with Mario Tennis Aces. Oh, wait. Hold on. Obi-Wan Kenobi cheered again. He says, just to clarify, he means that Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is better than Jurassic World, not the original movies. He doesn't know if anything will beat the original Jurassic Park. I agree. Like, that original Jurassic Park was, like, such an iconic film that almost changed things. Because before then, it was like, you go to the movies, yeah, it's you know, movie looks good or whatever, sounds good. But I remember going to Jurassic Park in the 90s with my parents. And that was the first time I had seen a movie where they had used the THX surround sound, okay? There was the new premiere of this sound system that they were rolling out in theaters. And when that fucking T-Rex started walking, you hear thump, thump, and you saw the water vibrating in the cup. You could feel it in the theater. And then the fucking thing roared and blew your ears out. You're like, holy fucking shit. This is crazy. Like, I never thought I would experience this kind of audio watching a movie. And then, you know, years later, now you could get that at home, right? Now you got home theater experience that's similar to what you hear in the movies. But I just remember that was kind of like when I said, wow, movies are really cool because you can immerse yourself in this experience that makes you feel like you're there in the movie. And that was the first time I ever really felt that. You know, I don't know if I honestly don't know if I'll ever get that feeling back. Because now movies are just, everything is crazy digital effects and silly, you know, ridiculous IMAX filming, surround sound, 3D, fucking shitty, you know, stuff flying on the screen. You know, Michael Bay's to blame for a lot of that. And, so I don't know, but it was a fun time. It was a fun time to be a movie lover. That's for sure. Alice Telemon just cheered. 138 bits says, shout out to Popsicolo. I followed his channel on Twitch yesterday. Thanks for all the art. Well, there you go. Yes, you guys may not realize, but a lot of my mods actually have their own channels. You know, Atlas Telemon is talking about Popsicolo, who has his own channel. Also, Kekken has his own channel. And, you know, these guys stream from time to time, and I host them. So if ever you see me hosting someone on this channel, I recommend you give him a look. I actually host a few people. I host NYC Furby, who's an old-school fighting game player like me, a friend of mine from New York City. And he's big into the tournament scene. He still plays games. He hosts tournaments on his channel. You know, there's a lot of stuff that I do here that when I'm not live, that you guys should give a look if you get a chance, okay? So shout out to all those cool people. All right. Shout out to Kate. Kate cheered, said, happy Friday, Phil. I've seen the trailer for Creed 2. It looks like they're making Apollo Creed's son versus Ivan Drago's son. It's going to be interesting. Oh, brother. Oh, brother, is all I have to say about that. Oh, so yeah, so finally he'll get revenge for his dad dying, right? By beating up the son. Oh, my God. Anyway, let's continue. Resident Evil Beating cheered. Does that mean that you'll get a PS4 Pro in the next few weeks? I don't know. You know, listen, and this is real talk, guys. In the last year since I've been having issues with my PS4, I've been offered, at least been told, oh, I am going to be generous. I am a fan of yours. I'm going to, you know, donate a PS4 Pro. And I go back and forth with people for weeks and weeks, and then eventually nothing comes of it, okay? So this isn't the first time that someone's offered it. However, this person seems to be very generous, and they're saying maybe they'll be able to get me a PS4 Pro that would improve my streams. I said, okay, well, if that's the case, great, we'll see. So I'm optimistic. At the same time, I'm not going crazy. I wouldn't have mentioned it if he didn't publicly mention it here on the stream, so let's see what happens. Genetic Gamer cheered. So shout out to Emperor Swaggins and Sammy Samosa. There you go. All right, guys. Now, I can finally end the pre-stream. It's been a long one, but it's also been a fun one and a supportive one. So thank you guys very much. Let's now formally end the pre-stream. All right. Let's now formally end the pre-stream. And let's get started. All right, let's get started with Mario Tennis Aces, which I have no idea if it's going to be any good. Wait a minute. Obi-Wan Kenobi just cheered. He says, Derek Loves Lemur says, Vice City sure had great soundtracks, especially Toto by Africa, and I haven't watched Back to the Future in so long. Marty. Okay. All right. Now, let us end the pre-stream. Let us end. What? Hold on a minute. Knows nobody. Just did a 100-bit cheer and said, hold up. Oh, my God. Oh, by the way, I did promise you guys I would check sub count. Let me check sub count quickly. 510. Kula just cheered and said, rest in peace pre-stream. But not. We're not done yet. Hold on. The pre-stream is not over. I've updated the sub count. And I'm now going to take the opportunity to thank the top 10 cheerers for the week. Since it is really the last opportunity because I got my day off tomorrow. Let's give them a shout out, all right? So, top 10 cheer contributors for the week. Number 10th is Murdoch. Number 9th, and no lie, he's beating Murdoch by one single bit. Game Master 2003 is dead again. In 8th place is PS Geek. In 7th place, Boba Feets. In 6th place, Shao Kahn Artist. In 5th, Dignon. In 4th place, Orange X Juice. In 3rd place is Brunis Martins. In 2nd place, Infinite 55. And sitting at 1st, Ost Mink. So there you go, guys. Thank you for your contributions this week. You have been awesome. All right. Now, my friends, It is time to end the pre-stream. It is time for me to start with Mario Tennis Aces and see what it's all about. Like I said, I've never played a Mario Tennis game before, so this is me coming completely out of my comfort zone, not knowing what to expect. I'm going to play the story mode. We're going to see how it goes. And again, based on you guys and your feedback and how interested you are in the game, if I like the game, based on your support, we'll see what happens. It will determine if and how much more I play. All right. All right. That is it. Thank you, everyone, for your support. Let's now end the pre-stream, and let's begin with Mario Tennis Aces. All righty then.